It's cool. Feast your eyes on the prize, living in city lights. You're out in front of the race, but you can't cross that finish line. Roving through the noise, the dial never sways. If your life is beating you, you have got to change your game. Roll on through the mountains and kiss the golden sky. Ride into the sunset, find your peace of mind. It's cool. Cooler in the canyon. It's cool. Cooler in the canyon.
Hello, everybody. How are we today? Well, we all know what this means. It's Saturday. That means it's race day, ladies and gentlemen. And, well, race day is our favorite day here as sim racers, obviously, especially here at GT45 Gaming. So, welcome in. It is our regular Saturday afternoon programming here. We are with the GTRC, the Gran Turismo Racing Community. Let me move my mic a little bit closer, ladies and gentlemen. I do apologize about that. All right. So, we are in round 10 of our GT3 Championship Series. I believe we only got a couple of rounds left here, ladies and gentlemen. So, every moment, every pass, every penalty, every mistake, every miscalculation could make or break you moving up or down the standings here in the championship. Of course, we'll bring those up for you guys here in a little bit. But in the meantime, we're just about ready to get qualifying underway. And just as I say that, they're switching the lobby over here. So, round 10, we're at Nurburgring GP. We're all the way over in Germany. And I mean, what can we say about this track? Iconic racetrack. Formula 1 races here, GT cars race here, prototype, everything races here. Everything races here. It's a fantastic racetrack. It's got some difficult corners. It's got some high-speed sections, and it just makes for really good racing. And even though the track itself is fairly wide, in most parts of the racetrack, it's actually quite difficult to pass here. So it's going to be interesting to see how our drivers are going to handle these situations here today. Now, required tires are the racing medium tires, and it is a 3 times fuel multiplier and a 3 times tire multiplier. So every time that the racers go around this racetrack one full time around, they're actually doing 3 laps worth of fuel and tire wear to their cars. So pit stops, no pit window, no mandatory pit stops. The way the races are set up, typically we're going to see a one-stop race out of most of the drivers. And then moving from there, we have been seeing some different strategies here from this group, especially over the last probably 3 or 4 rounds over the last 2 months here. And we're starting to see some drivers even attempt the no stops, and we've seen some 2-stop strategies come out and work out pretty well for drivers as well. So I can't even begin to predict what the strategy is going to be here for today. I mean, we are with the Group 3 cars here, as this is our premier championship here at the Gran Turismo Racing Community, and it's anybody's guess. It's really anybody's guess. I suspect we're going to see a one-stop out of the majority of the drivers. The medium tires should last fairly well. So qualifying is just starting here. So let's get ourselves out on track. And Keytops is back here this week. So was leading the championship at one point here in the season and then missed a couple races. So it'd be interesting to see where he's sitting right now. But nice to see him back. He's in that GTR. All right. So we're just going to stick with key here. This is just our out lap, ladies and gentlemen. So I do predict I'll get about 5 laps here, maybe 6 total hot laps for their qualifying this week. I wasn't in chat with the gentlemen before the broadcast today as I was busy setting up for a later broadcast here this afternoon. So but we got a big looking grid here. We see 14 guys on the track, so that's what we like to see. But while we're doing that, I'm just going to get my standings loaded into the stream here for everybody, as I totally forgot about the standings. So let's go jump in with Type R. I did see Type R had some practice lobbies open up a little bit before the race here, so we'll stick with Type R here for a minute, as obviously he's going to be the first driver to also cross the start-finish line, and it'll be interesting to see where he ends up at the end of this first hot lap by all our drivers. We need GT3 standings. Check. Might see a little lag spike for a second, chat. Just bear with. I'm just downloading. Alright, oh, don't do that. Alright. Hi guys, have a good one. Don't die T1, says Troan over in the YouTube. How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's having a good day. I mean, it's Saturday. What else could we be asking for? We got Daniel coming in with the big time love there too over on Facebook with the big like. Much love, my man, much love. So, Type R is just coming through the chicane here, and then we're going to be coming into Coca-Cola Curve. And interesting corner this one. You got to kind of swoop out wide. You just kind of want to coast into it, catch that apex, and then throttle out. But you don't want to get too early on the throttle. You want to go too wide on that exit curve. You get into that artificial stuff and into the sand there a little bit, and it could be bad news for everybody. So we got Pigums jumping into pole position with Key sitting in P2. We got Doug in third. We've got Pigums jumping off the track. Not sure why. I think he's just going to park it. Maybe he's just happy with that lap altogether. Or maybe there's an issue. I'm not sure. But so Pigums was in pole before he jumped off track. So that would put Key second, Doug third, Petrolhead fourth, Hairraiser fifth, Ibra in sixth, Bar 27 in seventh, Type R in eighth, Tron Colby in ninth, Disturbance in 10th, Pappy in 11th, Bo in 12th, Boo in 13th, Chip in 14th. And, oh, we got Big Stick just coming out of pit lane here. So we got a full grid today, which is beautiful. Oh, we love to see that. That's absolutely fantastic. So there we go. Pigham's back on the pole. 6/10 of a second faster than everybody else on track with that Toyota Supra currently. All right, so let's get these standings loaded up into the stream here. Done deal. Love technology. All right. Back to business, ladies and gentlemen. So, Bufu Shidara now taking pole position from Pigham's here in 6/10 of a second up on Pigham's time as well currently, the 156.417. Now, we will definitely suspect to see these guys probably get, I mean, we should see these guys get into the 154s, I think, and these GT3 guys. If they're really, really on their game today, we could see a 154 out of one of these guys, potentially in qualifying, but we're definitely going to see some 55s. So these guys aren't done shedding this time here yet. And Doug in the BRZ. Now, the BRZ has been suffering nerf after nerf after nerf after nerf. Unfortunately for... we got an invisible car with Tron Colby. We see him there, we just don't see his car. Not sure what's going on with that. So let's jump out of spectator mode. Let's jump back into spectator mode. And hopefully that has sorted itself out. Alright, where's our boy Tron? Alright, well, we've got a ghost car here on track. At least we can see his name, so we know he's there. That's fantastic. But yeah, we can't see his car, so I don't know what to say. I could leave the lobby and jump back in, I suppose. That might fix it. But I also don't want to spike the lobby out. So what we'll do is we'll wait till the end of qualifying. We'll jump out of the lobby. We'll jump back into the lobby. Mr. Riley Brinkley's, how are you, my guy? I hope you're having a fantastic day. Hey, did he just show back up? Okay, yeah. We got an invisible car. We can't we can't do that. We got Chip Reese here in the Ford GT Spec 2. Interesting choice of cars here. Not going to be the greatest on tires. We've got a big stick in a Mercedes here as well. So yeah, it's going to be a fat grid today. We love to see those big grids. Riley coming in there with that like over on the Facebook as well. Much love, Riley. Hope you're doing well, my guy. Alright, so Boo Fushidara is leading the championship, or he's very close to it. Now he's chasing. Pigham's sitting in P2. Obviously, they see each other on the racetrack, because that little bit of a movement that we just saw there on screen tells me that Pigham's can see Troll and Kobe. For some reason, I can't see him. Not sure what that's about. Bar 27 here, sitting currently in third place provisionally for the start of the race here, as we are in qualifying. I suspect we'll see about 1 or 2 more laps here. Hair Razors in 4th, we got Key in 5th, Doug Burrow in 6th, we've got Petrol in 7th, we've got Ibra in 8th, and the other BRZ. So we got 2 drivers in that highly nerfed BRZ right now. So it's going to be interesting to see how these cars handle the race today around Nurburgring here. They'll be really good through the Mercedes arena here, through some of this midsection of the racetrack, I suspect, but on these top speed runs where you need when you need that top end of these cars, that's where these cars are really going to struggle here. So we got Type R currently sitting in 9th. We got Bo sitting in 10th in that Mustang. Tron Kobe is in the other Supra. Disturbance in the Ford GT race car. So bold choice. Rocket in a straight line right now, that car. Happy Pappy here in 14th in his Aston. And Chip in another Ford GT, having a little bit of an issue going into the corner there. But the man everybody's chasing right now for pole position is Boo Fushidara. So let's actually jump on board with him here for this lap. And let's see what he can do. See if he can improve on that time here real quick. So about midway around the track here, he's just coming out to the Mercedes arena now, and really wide there. A little wider than you want that exit to be there. That probably cost him time more than it helped him there, but just a little early on the throttle, and it just forced the car out a little wider than he wanted to there. So Boo is most certainly starting to feel the pressure, I think, from some of the drivers chasing him here in the latter part of this championship series, and I think that he's starting to try and find a little bit of extra pace moving into the championship run here, and I think that he's just pushing a little extra in qualifying, just to try to find that little extra time to make sure that he's sitting in pole position. And right now he's a second up, so he's sitting in a really good position here actually right now in qualifying, but anything can happen here. These guys have been shedding their fuel down in their cars. The cars are getting a little bit lighter. That's going to make them faster. So 155.796 here from Boo Fushidara as well. So that's a quick lap. Like I said, we are going to see guys start getting into the 155s, and Boo is the first driver and the only driver currently sitting in the 155s actually around the racetrack here. So can't remember what they call the chicane here, but we're coming into the chicane, and then we come in to our final corner here, which is the Coca-Cola curve. Most recently named not too many years ago, I believe. And yeah, you get that corner right, man, you just get a rocket shot down the start-finish line. But if you get it wrong, and that's going to be it for qualifying. So Boo's done his qualifying, so Pigham's is done. Alright, so we're going to take advantage of this. We're going to jump right out of the lobby here. Before they start the race, obviously, we want to get back in before the race starts. We're going to, we cleared our cache before we went in, but we're going to do it again anyways. Oop, oop. And hopefully that takes care of the invisible car. Now we're on the new platform here. For anybody who's watching that's not sure what's going on here right now, GT7 was released about 6-7 months ago now, and they're still working out bugs and glitches and new game release issues. So yeah, you know, we just have little workarounds to get around the issue, and that's what we're doing right now. Just kind of working around it, you know. All right, so it takes 9 million years for PlayStation 4 to load anything on this game, which is really, really unfortunate. But we're getting there. We're getting there. I think we've already started. Alright, so we have started. So I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen. We did miss the first part of the race start. So let's get caught up. Boo Fushidara clearly getting a great race start very early in the lead here. Moving down, we got Doug Barrow in second place. We got Keytops in third place. We still got Invisible Cars. We got Bar 27 in fourth place. We got Petrolhead in fifth. We got Disturbance in sixth. We've got Ibra in seventh. We've got Big Stick in eighth. We've got Type R in ninth. Bo in 10th place. We've got Pappy in 11th. We've got Pigums chasing here in 12th. And wow, we're having some lag. We're having some lag. I don't know if it's on my end, but there's definitely some lag. We got Trone in 14th. We can see Trone now, and Chip just looked like he got reset there on track. So, all right, lap 2. Boo Fushidara in the lead. He was the pole sitter. Obviously, nobody got that position from him. So, good for Boo Fushidara, and trying to run away. Now, Doug Barrow is the type of guy that likes to lead the race. He likes to chase the race pace. He likes to set the race pace, but it might be a little difficult with the car choice here. Moving into the latter part of the championship, the car was a solid car when he picked the car at the beginning of the championship, but for some reason, the game continues to make adjustments to this car, and it's a tough car to get around a racetrack very quickly now. We have Keytops now, just in behind Doug. He's in a GTR. We can't see him, but he's there. We got Bar 27 in 4th place. Oh my goodness. Petrolhead in 6th. We got Ibra in 7th place. Ibra's looking like he gained a couple of spots here. We got Disturbance having a good early run here in 7th. And again, that Ford GT race car, not the easiest car in the world to drive. It's a big car. It's a big car. I mean, you gotta get it around the corners. It requires a little bit of finesse as well, because I mean, clearly you can see how low to the ground this car is, and it's just meant to run in a straight line, no question of a doubt. But it's not designed for technicality parts of the racing, and that's where the car suffers. So Disturbance doing a pretty good job here. You see with a half-second track limit penalty there, dropping a spot there in 8th place, but Pigums is on his case here now. So we're following here. We're chasing the race here. We got Radar. We got lots of guys everywhere here. But battle here for P8 and P9 right now with Disturbance and Pigums. Side by side through the chicane. Great job by these two drivers to survive that. And Pigums with the move. And is he going to make it stick here? Type R is now taking a look on Disturbance here as well. And Hairraiser is going to try and follow him through here. So Hairraiser is going to give Type R a push here. Is that going to be enough to get Hairraiser ahead of Disturbance? It looks that way. So 9th place going to Type R. Hairraiser jumping into P10, but this battle is not over as we're coming into this hard hairpin corner. And then that's going to enter us into the Mercedes Arena. Anything can happen in Mercedes Arena here, but Hairraiser manages to slot in front here as we get through the first part of Mercedes Arena here. Very, very technical sector here. A great battle here in the mid-pack by all the drivers. And we see Trone and Happy Pappy now getting in on this as well. Disturbance is just dropping down the pack here right now. Struggling a little bit perhaps with that car. But he'll get it sorted. He'll get it sorted. You can see he's really good trying to take the widest berth possible around the racetrack here to get the best angle into the corners. Again, this car, not the best around the corner. We got Happy Pappy, that Aston Martin. Now, this car is the exact opposite. This car is fantastic through corners. But that 4GT race car. Oh, and somebody off the track in front. Oh, we got Type R going off. Hair Raiser stopping. Maybe potentially a little bit of an incident between the two drivers there. Hair Raiser giving a position back potentially there, but absolutely making a parking lot into the corner there. So everybody managing to get through fairly unscathed, it looks like. Whew, it is busy in the mid-pack here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness, we got Bo. Something happening to Bo here. He's dropped back to P15. So let's get back up front and see what's going on with our race leaders here. Bufu Shidara, the 157.6 last time around. And he's probably going to be a little bit quicker this time around, I would guess, just as those tires are starting to warm up and the guys are getting comfortable. Mr. Paul Blomstrom up in the chat. How are you, my guy? And there we are, 157.579 from Bufu Shidara. This guy's unstoppable in this series. Nobody has really been able to give Bufu Shidara an answer. Some guys have definitely been giving him some hard times here in the series, this GT3 championship, but nobody's really had the answer for Bufu Shidara this season. He is locked into that Porsche 911 RSR, and he is just almost unstoppable in that car. Absolutely crazy. We got Keytops here, our invisible driver today. He's in a Nissan GTR. And is currently sitting in third place. Obviously, the other drivers can see him on track. Otherwise, there'd be a pile up in the front at some point in time or another. So, it's just us that can't see him. So, Bar 27 in fourth place here and having a good early run. Bar 27 is a pretty consistent racer here in the GT3 Championship this season. And we'll bring those standings up to you guys when the race kind of settles in the mid part of the race. This is a 1 hour endurance, so... you know, we'll 30, 35, 40 minutes in, things settle down, we'll kick into the standings, we'll take a look at the implications of where the race is sitting at that point in time. Petrolhead in 5th place in that AMG Mercedes, looking good this week here as well. These guys are changing up their liveries fairly regularly, but they always look fantastic deliveries. Absolutely just beautiful race car design here on this race car. For the racing car enthusiast, for sure. Pigham's here as well. Pigham's is came into the championship a couple weeks into the championship and has proven to be a very, very quick driver. He has been battling up there with Bufu Shidara for those top spots. He's been on the podium quite a bit this year in this GT3 championship event and chasing. He's chasing. He's looking for a podium finish here this season. Obviously, I'm sure like every racer wants that top spot, but podium finish is definitely in sight for Pigham's here. Overall in the championship. Ibra here as well. Now Ibra has been one of those drivers who puts a lot of work into his driving. Ibra puts a mile of work into his practicing, into his driving, and week in and week out it shows in his racing, in his pace, his racecraft. He's extremely clean. He's a very calculated race car driver. He doesn't really ever seem to panic too much. And at the end of the day, that really does seem to pay him dividends, as he usually ends up in a pretty good finishing position in these races. So some patience and a good strategy, and it's done him very well this season so far. We got Big Stick here. We don't know too much about this guy. Also in the Mercedes AMG. I think this might be his second or third week in the series as far as actually being on track racing in the series goes. So we don't know too much about him at the moment, but in that number 8 Hooters style Mercedes AMG here today, so fantastic stuff. And Mr. Tyrone Colby is he's at that point where he's ready, I think, to go to the next level in his driving. We spoke with Tyrone Colby about this a couple weeks ago, actually, in a podium interview when we had Bufu Shidara in as special guest for the Miata Round 2 series. And, you know, we both feel that he's ready to take that next step, that next progression to the next tier of pace. And since that interview, we've seen him basically do that. We've seen him start to push his comfort zone and his own limits personally as a race car driver in a sim racing on GT7 here. And it's starting to really pay off for him. He has been having some absolutely spectacular races here in the series, in the latter part of the series, as well as the MX5 series that goes in between the GT3 championships and off weeks. So A driver to start looking out for as we progress in the future here is definitely going to be this man right here, Tyrone Colby. Pappy here as well. He has started to find a comfort zone recently in the championship racing here too as well. He had a great second place finish for the amateur division in the MX5 series a couple rounds ago. Didn't have the best race last week, but really right back in it this weekend and showing some good pace, some battling here again. He's right in the mix here with these guys in the back part of the pack here. Type R in 10th place. He's took a little bit of a look there. Oh, a little bit of contact between the two there, so he's going to back out. He's going to make sure the Type R keeps that position, and he's going to retry that battle. But going to try and hang him out on the outside here. Tough to do in the Mercedes arena here, and all this has done is just closed up now, allowed 12th place Disturbance and 13th place Hair Razor to get right into the mix here. Now, some of these drivers might have some damage potentially here as well, so Pappy losing a little bit off the back of Type R there, maybe feeling the pressure from the guys behind him a little bit as well. Tough spot to be in when you're trying to battle for a position. You've got cars right on your rear bumper wanting your position, so he's in a tough spot here. It'd be interesting to see how he continues to handle this, but Pappy's been looking good. Oh, contact between Pappy and Disturbance, and absolutely unintentional there. You can see that as Disturbance is waiting for Pappy to get back up on the track here. Pappy's just getting himself sorted out there. That was a pretty good lick, so he's just sorting himself here. So hopefully everything's all right there. We'll keep our eye on Pappy. So Disturbance, of course, was sitting there waiting for Pappy to, of course, get back on track and take that position back. That was definitely unintentional. He just went in a little hot into the braking zone and got into the back of Pappy there and spun him out. So unfortunate there. And of course, that's between the stewards and the drivers to sort out. Keytop's going on the outside through the hairpin here. Is he going to get it done? Currently ahead of Doug right now. Oh, we're really relying on his name tag here to tell us where he's at on the racetrack today, unfortunately. But in P2 here, so Doug Burrow literally on his bumper from what we can tell based off his name tag here. So Doug is not going to want to let Keytops get away here, but he's going to do his best to keep up with him and potentially use that big old GTR as a slipstream to get that BRZ up the racetrack a little bit quicker. Bar 27 trying to close the gap. We got Piggums in 5th and Petrolhead closing up here in 6th. So potential battle brewing between these two drivers here. Piggums is also a very calculated race car driver. So a little bit off pace at the moment. Ooh, Doug off track there. You can see in the grass. So he's going to drop a couple of positions here to Piggums and Petrolhead. So those guys get grandfathered up a spot each due to the mistake made by Doug there. Not sure if that is battle related, obviously, with P2 there, but he was obviously pushing to get that position. Ooh, Petrolhead gets around there. He was cooking. He just slid around that corner. Great job to keep the car underneath him there, but he's going to be coming in here with dirty tires now. And yeah, he manages that pretty well, but ooh, great job there by Petrolhead to keep the car underneath him there as he came smoking around that corner. He was cooking. Woo. Hard on those tires when the car is sliding around the corner like that, chat. Ooh, boy. Doug in 6th place here now, getting it back together here. He's just got to collect his thoughts here and get back on the rhythm and start to lock this back in and try to catch Petrolhead up ahead here. But now that's going to allow Eber to potentially maybe get a drafting buddy here as well, and it's actually the other BRZ driver here as well. So maybe these two will be able to link up and work together a little bit to push up back into that front half of the racing pack. We got Big Stick here in 8th place, and he's in an all-right spot. He's got a little bit of a gap from Tyrone Colby behind, but 1.7 seconds, but a little bit of time to make up on Ibra ahead, about 8 seconds ahead here. So and Tyrone Colby coming in that Toyota Supra. Be interesting to see how he progresses. Hair Razor's now moved all the way up into P10, so Hair Razor's starting to make some moves. We've seen him in P13 the last time we were in the field here. So Hair Razor's one of the top competitors here in the series this season. So potentially maybe playing a little bit of strategy here. We're not sure what he's doing yet. We did see him involved in an earlier incident there, so maybe just a little bit off the pace from that incident. It's hard to say. Got Type R here in that Toyota FT1. We don't see too many guys opt to choose to drive this car in championships, so you know, good on the man here to take something a little bit different and put it on track. And 10th place, so holding down that top 10. We got Disturbance and Bo now battling here for P11 and 12. So a couple of Fords battling it out for position here. Let's see which one is going to get it done here. Again, both these cars are actually quite quick in a straight line, and both these cars are quite sluggish under cornering. So interesting battle we have going on here between these two Ford race cars. Bo's going to go on the outside here. Is he going to be able to hang it out? Tough pass to make there. Lots of space given there between the two drivers. Great battle these guys are having here as we're side by side. And Bo's going to get out ahead coming out of this corner. Ooh, Disturbance gets a good run here. Again, that GT is an absolute rocket ship in a straight line, but Bo's going to get it done here. So great move, little battle here, a little half-track battle between our 11th to 12th place drivers, Bo 94 and Disturbance. Bo getting the job done in that Ford Mustang over that Ford GT race car. So 1 point to the Mustang in this occasion, I guess. Good luck, Pickham's and Throne. The BRZ should still have better wear fuel than the 911, so he might catch up at the end of the stints. Hey, appreciate you, Evo. Good shout out there. Alright, let's go see what's going on. So we got Chip, he's in pit lane here, having an issue with that Ford GT. So Boo Fujitara has got an 8-second gap currently on the rest of the field. So in first place, looking pretty cozy here in that nice new design Porsche. We've seen that last 2 weeks ago in our round. GT3, he brought out a new livery there. It looks absolutely smashing on track. And very colorful, very fun. We like the fun. Fun is good. But he's absolutely in control right now and in command. Really doesn't need to push he doesn't need to push the pace any more than he is at right now. He just needs to kind of maintain it and keep it all together. We see a pit there with a 157.4. Not sure what that's about. We got Keytops here in second place. He's got about 1.6 seconds on our third place driver, Bar 27 now. Looking pretty solid. Bar 27 got about 1.6 seconds on Piggums, chasing in fourth place. So you can start to see we're starting to get a little bit of gap between the drivers now. The guys are starting to settle into the race a little bit. They're not pushing as hard now. They're into their rhythms, into their strategies, whatever they got going on in their minds while they're behind the race cars here. And Piggums is starting to actually, he's really starting to kind of move here. He's getting a couple tenths on Bar there, so we'll be keeping our eye on that. We got Petrolhead here in P5 in fifth place. In that Mercedes, looking strong here. And Doug now chasing it. So Doug's about 3 seconds behind. He's got Ibra behind him in seventh place, about 5 seconds behind him there. So no threat from Ibra currently on the racetrack right now. We got Tron Kobe about 10 seconds behind Ibra, and Hair Razor starting to make some. He's starting to make some distance up. Hair Razor right now is just picking him up and putting him down every time he can here, every chance he gets. So good on him, absolutely good on him here. How's our game audio here? It seems a little quiet on my side. So let's crank that up a little bit. And Hair Racer potentially maybe not looking to battle with Troan here. Maybe these two are just kind of working together. We'll see as we come into this corner here. No, Hair Racer's going to go for that inside line right now. He's going to try to get the job done. You can see Troan just not even fighting it. He's like, all right, you go ahead, man. I'll follow you for a bit. I'm down. So Troan's slotting in 9th place, tucks right back in behind Hair Razor, getting the move done there for 8th place. And away they go. See if they can catch Ibra up in 7th place. Type R in 10th, and he's just cruising. He's cruising. He just needs to worry about running his laps here right now. Tron Kobe's a little bit up the road. You can still see him, and the next driver is a little bit behind. So he's got a bit of a comfort zone here right now. Bo, we just seen that battle with Disturbance in that Ford GT race car there now up in the P11. He's slowly but surely starting to make his way up the racetrack here as well. Disturbance still hanging it in there with that Ford GT race car. So Chippery's still in pit lane here, and we've lost a driver. We lost Pappy. We have lost Pappy. Boo really eating a lot of that curb there. He might have taken a little too much there. We'll have to see as he comes around. It's usually where you get the penalties assessed if there's a penalty there for cutting the corner. No, he got really fortunate there. He was most certainly on that borderline of the stewards calling a track limit penalty on him there. And you can see that pace is starting to slow down a little bit. Either his tire wear, or he just realizes that he doesn't need to push any harder than he's racing right now. And no point in overrunning the car for no reason at the moment. Save some time in pit lane when you got to stop, and worry about the next half of the race. Ooh, bar 27 getting it a little bit wrong there, a little bit late on the brakes. You see some pressure from Pigums here, so let's get on with this battle here. So Bar's going to semi-defend here. He's going to keep Pigums to the outside of the corner here. This is a tough corner to hold the outside line to get the job done, but that's going to get Pigums inside line here. Which of these two guys has got the acceleration? It's Toyota versus Toyota, new versus old school here right now. And new school's winning just by a little bit here. Oh, is Bar going to stick it in? No, he's going to back out here. He's just going to go single file through that chicane. But absolutely great stuff right there. And oh, they're both actually going to come into pit lane here. So there we go. All right, so Pigums and Bar 27 both making their first stops of the day here. So very interesting. Great battle there between the old Supra and the newer style Supra race cars there as well. So a little bit of fun here too as well on the sim racing side of things. We get the opportunity to put cars on racetracks against each other that typically you won't see in real life racing against each other anymore. I mean, we've got old technology versus new technology on the racetrack here. Just quite interesting to see. And these older GT3 style race cars are, you know, they're still fairly competitive too. So it's interesting. So Pigums is going to come out in what looks to be P6. He's going to go right in behind. He's going to slot right in behind Tron Kobe here in P7. And Tron is starting to reel in Hair Racer a little bit here, it looks like. So Petrolhead coming out of pit lane here. He is going to come out in 9th place. So Bo not able to get ahead there, but definitely able to see him there, as you can just see Bo coming into the background there as we're watching Petro come out of pit lane. Oh, and Bo almost getting that corner wrong there, we see. Having to just get on the brakes a little bit to get that car to rotate for him. Great corner there by Disturbance in that 4G. Oh, that thing sounds so great. Tight bar here in P12. Sorry, I seen a squirrel there. I got distracted by the sound of that car. The race car just does sound fantastic. So we got one driver assessing a mechanical issue in pit lane. We have one driver behind the wall already retired for the day in Happy Pappy. Down to 14 drivers, 13 on track. But Bufu Shidara have been in command right from the beginning of this race, right from the lights going green, right up to this point, just in charge and really trying to lock in a championship for himself here. We got the invisible car Key Tops on track here. He's not invisible, obviously. The other drivers can see him because they've been having great racing all race long. For some reason, we just can't see him. I've been noticing some things like that around the game lately since the last little patch update that came in. Sometimes people's liveries will flick on and off on their cars in the middle of a race. It's quite distracting, actually. But yeah, just funny little things happening within the game that they're still sorting out. So, and unfortunately, invisible cars is one of those things. But at least we know he's on the track and where on the track he is. Normally, we just don't see him. So, small improvement, I suppose. Ibra now up into P4 here with the pit stops made by the three drivers up front there. Harris is now all the way up into P5 with those stops. Pigums is in 6th place here with Tron Colby now in P7. Bar in P8. We have Petrol again in P9. Bo now in pit lane with that Mustang. Type R is coming around. He's opting to go around again. Disturbance just up ahead already. Now rounding out the top 10 there. And Chip Reese has still got the crew working on that car. I believe Chip Reese was new entry today. I'm not 100% sure, but nice to see him on track. So not sure what the issue is with that car right at the moment, but they'll sort it out. So let's go see if we can find us a little battle here. We do have Pigum starting to close in on Hair Razor here. Let's jump on with Pigums here as he tries to get the job done here on Hair Razor. Did a really great job to close him up here, so now he's going to try and use this straightaway and a little bit of slipstream, I would assume, to get into a slingshot move coming into this first corner hairpin. Hair Razor's definitely not making it easy on him here, though. Hair Razor's going to opt to go semi-defensive. Pigums is just going to chill. We have lost 2 more drivers here, I think. We have just lost either the Mercedes driver or our Ford GT race car driver. So job done by Pigums here. And moving up that position. Now Hair Razor hasn't pitched yet either, ladies and gentlemen, so let's keep that in mind. So Pigums has already gotten back ahead of Hair Razor here. Bar 27 with a half-second track limit penalty here in 7th. We got Trone starting to close in a little bit here. Disturbance is still on track, so it was Big Stick that we've lost. So we have lost one of our Mercedes cars here today as well. So Key currently in the lead now. 21-second lead over second place driver's Doug Barrow, who has 5 seconds on our third place driver Ibra. So once these guys pits, obviously that's most certainly going to change. It's probably, with fuel and tires, it's probably closer to about a 45 to 55 second stop. So they don't have the gap on the drivers behind. Clearly, as you can see, Boo Fushidara is actually just starting to get on the back end of Ibra here. So and let's get rid of some of this information. Let's just get just the race in general to you guys here. Let's just get you full front action around Nurburgring GP here. Again, fantastic racing track. It makes for such great racing. And Boo Fushidara, he's going to take the inside line here. And again, you can see Ibra's not really forcing anything here. He's not trying to battle with Boo. He's just, all right, mate, you got the line, you got the pace. I'm going to let you go. I'm going to tuck in behind and let you pull me around here a little bit. So Ibra is now trying to get in behind that Porsche 911. Pigums in 4th place here. Hair Razor chasing in 5th. Hair Razor hasn't let Pigums get away at all. He's like, whoa, whoa, buddy, where do you think you're going? We got Bar 27 now chasing here as well. So the gaps are starting to close up. We'll bring that information back up for you guys very soon here. We'll give you guys a look at the tires, the fuel, and we can see key tops again. Fantastic. So I'm assuming that Big Stick might have been the driver creating the glitch in the lobby, if I had to guess. He was the last driver to get disconnected from the lobby, and the lobby seems to have sorted itself out. Again, it's just the way the game is right now. We just work with it. That's just how we rolls. It doesn't stop racing. The guys love to race, and that's what's important. The community, they love to race, and that's what matters the most. So they're here, they're racing. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Doug Bro in 1st place here, and we're going to be probably seeing a pit stop pretty soon here. We're at the halfway point of the race now. So typically in these races, we see these guys start to pit at the 25 to 35 minute point if they're on that one-stop strategy. It depends on their racing situation and the scenario they're currently sitting in. Yeah, it's all just in fun and games with these guys. They want to be on track, and it doesn't matter What's going on with the game? Nigerian Security coming in with the like as well. How you doing, my guy? Appreciate all that support as always. A straight up OG on the page there too. So really appreciate that like, my friend. Much love, much love. Yeah, I know. I seen. It's a tough race today. Tough race out there. It's all good, my guy. It's all good. Cars break in real life, you know. That's what we consider a disconnect as, you know, engine failure or something like that. It happens, my dude. No stress. Now you just get to sit back and watch the fun. It sucks though. I know we put the time in for these races, but I mean we're at the mercy of the game right now, so it is what it is. Even guys with good solid internet connections are having these issues, so they'll get it sorted. They'll get it sorted. So Boo's got a 2.7 second lead on Piggums. So Piggums has not let Boo Fushidara get too far away here. Ibra in P3. Looking like he's probably going to be ready for a stop here anytime now. Bar 27 here. 4th place currently on the racetrack. And trying to chase Ibra down here. And may very well be able to do it. May not have to either. Key in 5th place. Finally nice to be able to see that race car on track. Looking good as always. We got the Ally Hendricks Motorsports racing livery on that GTR here today. Fantastic stuff. Throwing Kobe with his classic Cleveland Browns. We know when a Trone's on track. All you got to do is see that livery and you don't need to see the name. You just know it's Trone Kobe. Michael coming in with that thumbs up. My guy, much love, my dude. How are you? Dark Crown Gaming in the house, chat. Hair Razor in 8th place. We got Type R here in 9th as well. Bo 94 looking pretty good in this Mustang. It's an interesting choice of car. You know, running open lobbies and that around on regular nights, you know, when we're just chilling and hanging out and doing our thing as a community here at the page, we see a fair amount of Mustangs end up in the GT3 open lobbies on these tracks. So, it seems to be a good car. A lot of people seem to like it. So, I don't know myself. I haven't really driven it too much, but this car is fun. I've just started recently running around in this car. Since the last patch, we've actually upped the horsepower in this car a little bit, believe it or not. And it is. It's a fun car to drive, but it takes a little bit of getting used to. It is an MR car, which makes it difficult to drive. And fantastic. So Chip Reese has gotten whatever mechanical issue figured out in that car, and that pit crew has got him back on the racetrack. So we love to see the hard work from the crews really pay off here. We got a racer back on track. Fantastic stuff. Boo Fushidara in the lead. Piggums putting on the pressure. So the big question is Piggums looking to make the move early? Hey, what's up, my guy? Or is he going to settle back, and is he just going to stay behind Boo Fushidara and not let Boo get away from him here, and wait till later on in the race to make that move? And this has implications, this battle right here between Boo Fushidara and Piggums right now, and you'll see why in a few more minutes. We'll bring those standings up on the stream here for you amazing folks watching and hanging out, and let you know where everybody's sitting. So Bar 27 now in the podium positions here, sitting in 3rd place. He's just coming up in behind Chip Reese, who obviously we've seen Chip Reese having some form of issue with his car there. He was in pit lane for a few laps. So he's a few laps down from these guys, but moving out of the way of Bar 27 there, and guys are continuing on, man. The drivers, it's all about time behind the wheel and just time on track for a lot of the sim racers. So even if you're seeing a sim racer having a bad race, you're going to see them just just run their race anyways. And even though you're frustrated and you're feeling like you're not having a great race, you know, you're still learning from that. You might not realize it right at that moment because you're a little bit upset about how your race is going, but when you sit back and reflect on that later, you do realize that you learn some things from it, and then you take that into your next race and your next race and your next race, and next thing you know, you're popping off battles with the guys at the top of the field. So we love to see these guys coming out and just finishing the races, even though they're not having the best of days. So get on them, man. We love to see the crew working hard, getting that car back on track. And a little battle here between Trone and Ibra, and potentially Type R there just off in the distance as well. So let's get with this battle here on track. Let's get rid of the tire information. And just get to the business of racing, shall we? So we still have 24 minutes left of the race yet. We have lots and lots and lots of time in this race yet. We're not going to see too much crazy battling yet, but I would say in another 10 minutes, we're going to start seeing the guys turn it up a level here. And you can see Eber got a super, super fantastic run through that last sector. And again, that BRZ is just so good in the corners. Super is not bad in the corners. It's much better in a straight line. So you're going to see Trone gain time on that BRZ in a long run because it just has a higher top speed. But you're going to see that BRZ doing exactly what Ibra's doing with it right now and dust that Toyota into cornering. So interesting battle we got here between Ibra and Trone Colby, and pretty soon to be Type R here for 7th, 8th, and 9th place. Disturbant rounding out our top 10 here, and we're about to have a battle of the Fords here potentially again. But 3-second penalty there for Bo. That's unfortunate. Pit lane infraction there. So, and Chip here just running out the rest of his race here. So Bufu Shidara still in first place. We've been keeping our eye on the radar in this battle here as we're going through the field here, and we can tell nothing's changed. Again, this is probably a lot of strategy here from Pigham's part. We do know that the Toyota Supra itself is very difficult on the tires compared to its counterpart right now with the Porsche 911 in front of them. So, but Pigham's just sitting behind and trying to stay in the slipstream of that Porsche right now is probably helping with a little bit of that tire wear factor, and of course, obviously helping save a little bit of fuel. So, our leader's car is a little bit more in depth when it comes to fuel saving and tire management than our second place driver's car, the Supra. Supra is definitely designed for being a race car. It's quick, but the Porsche is designed just for that all-around efficiency. Oh, we've lost another driver. Oh, I feel so gutted for Bo. 40 minutes into the race. Oh man, Bo 94 chat. Oh, let's get some love for our competitors here who have been disconnected today. These guys put so much time in the practice for these races, and they spend a lot of time in these community with the guys, and they're hanging out and they're helping others, and it absolutely destroys our hearts to see these guys get disconnected in these races. Bo 94 is just hardline, great connection internet where he lives. You know, the internet connection really isn't the issue at hand here for Bo 94, but for some reason he just cannot stay in a full 1 hour race. And it's frustrating. It's so frustrating. It's frustrating for the league. It's frustrating for the driver. It's frustrating for myself, the broadcaster, because I feel for the guy, man. He is such a good racer, and he can't stay connected to the lobby for some reason. It doesn't make sense. Polyphony, PD, come on, guys. Help a brother out, man. We just want to hang out with our friends and race. Come on, PD. Keytaps in 4th place. We got Doug here in 5th. Hairraiser in 6th. I am. It breaks my heart to see that, guys. It breaks my heart to see that. So, Trone's got around Ibra here. So, Trone's now in P7. Ibra's just in behind here. So, Trone's decided, yeah, you know what? Let's just get around him here. And I've got the pace. Let's just lose him here. So, Trone's now trying to do exactly that. He's trying to lose Ibra here. Ibra's just trying to stay in that slipstream. And Type R now is starting to get on the back bumper of that BRZ here. So, A disturbance here in P10. He's about a minute behind, but he's kicking it, man. He's giving her everything he's got with that car. It is a difficult car to drive. So, kudos to the two guys in the 4GT race cars, newer version and older version. Bold choices, bold choices. Bufu Shidara, 2 seconds up the road here from Pigham's now. So Bufu Shidara's decided, all right, buddy, you want it? Come and get it. So Bufu Shidara improving on his fastest lap, which was a 155.9 down to a 155.4, which was actually quicker than his qualifying lap. So showing some pretty good race pace here. We got Pigham's. He's there back there chasing, man. He's back there chasing. I mean, he's not on a terrible pace here either. Like that pace is fantastic. Look at that timing split, chat. His consistency is just absolutely phenomenal in that 8-lap split there. That's incredible. Absolutely incredible. Bar 27 here in P3, and I mean, you don't see any other driver with a timing split like that in this race. That's seriously incredible. Wow, that's impressive. We got Keytops here. He's a little bit all over the place here with this GTR here today. Consistency is just a little bit off for Keytops here today. Doug and Doug's really fighting to hold on to this championship too. I mean, he's right there in the mix of this whole thing, man, and this car is just not treating him well. He needs some tight technical racetracks that don't have a whole lot of high speed sections to him here. So he could capitalize with this car, because right now it seems like the car is just struggling to keep up, and it's unfortunate because we know that Doug is an absolutely quick driver. So the BRZ's definitely not the car right now. Hair Razor here in P6 starting to chase Doug down, so it'll be interesting to see if Hair Razor reels Doug in here. Ibra's now gotten back around Tro and Kobe, so these guys are playing a little leapfrog here with each other right now. 1 lap ago it was Tron in front of Ibra, now it's Ibra in front of Tron. I feel like I should be following these two potentially for a little while here. We're missing stuff, man. And go get some, boys. Type R in 9th, and he is doing everything he can to keep up to that battle, but he must have made a mistake because he's off the pace of that battle now. And Disturbance is doing a good job holding up the top 10 with that 4GT race car. Absolutely crack-up job. Ooh, Chip got it wrong there. And oh, medic situation. Ooh, hold it, hold it, hold it. Whew. Just got that car into the gravel. A little bit of throttle, and ooh, she just went. Whew. He was just along for the ride at that point. Did a really good job there to keep it just hitting the wall there. So minimal damage to that car. So good job there by Chip Reeses. Those are what we like to call the pucker moments of racing, when you just hold on and hang on for the ride, man, and pray you don't take anybody out with you. Mr. Joe Mercier coming in with that like and that share, my guy. What is good today, dude? So Bufu Shidara is now on the back end of our 9th place driver here. So Bufu Shidara is about to lap the 9th place driver on track here. So he is flying right now. So Pickham's has made a pit stop. Got a 3-second pit line penalty for it as well, unfortunately. But Pickham's has made the pit stop. So Bufu Shidara is clear by 40 seconds currently. Bar 27 has also made a pit stop. You can tell by the live timing. Doug hasn't made a stop in a while. He's only about 6 laps into this stint, so he'll probably be going for a while. We might even see him go the remainder of the race. Playing PUBG, waiting on Scuda to finish his match. Oh, get some, my guy, get some. Tell Scuda I said hi too, by the way, for me, would you? Miss that boy. Keytops in P5 here. Hair Razor's still chasing. I don't know if Hair Razor's really pushing the issue yet here, but we're going to start seeing this race crack in here. We're going to start seeing these drivers pushing. So interesting strategy from Piggums. I'm not sure what the strategy behind that was here. Maybe he's hoping that Bufu Shidara is going to pit one more time. I don't know. But we got a 14-second split here now, so Um, Boo has pit, and just a splash and dash most likely, and maybe some tires. So it's race on here. So Pickens is 14 seconds behind our leader. Bar 27, 8 seconds behind our second place driver. Doug Barrow getting a little bit sideways there. And Ketop's starting to put the pressure on him here. And oh, just got a really tight line in the Mercedes corner there. Doug didn't realize he was there. Turned into him just a little bit there. No harm, no foul. Race is back on. I mean, these guys are just going to keep racing. So, going to see him go back on the inside here. No, Doug goes really late into the corner there under braking. It just absolutely shows that GTR how you take a corner as a BRZ. And that GTR is going to have to work to catch back up here a little bit now. So, we'll see this battle probably progress by the end of the lap here again. And Hairraiser's now starting to close in on these two drivers as well. So Hairraiser's in a good spot here in P6 right now. He's about a second and a half off these guys. They're going to start battling, and naturally it's just going to pull them right into the battle. So he's just got to keep it close right now and wait for them guys to start battling. Maybe they make a mistake, and maybe he gets both spots, right? So be patient, be ready to make the move when the opportunity is available. Hey, appreciate you, Joe. Ibra here in P8 as well. Type R, that Toyota FT1 in 9th place. Disturbance holding out that top 10. He's been there for a large part of the race now, but he's holding it strong. Chip Reese here now up into 11th. So remember, 15 drivers started this race. We've had what looks to be like 4 disconnects so far this race. So just by default, just that pit crew getting this car back on track has already advanced him 4 spots in the points. But Boo Fushidara seems to be the man with the plan right now. We're seeing the Pick'em start to shed that gap down. It was 14, now it's 10. Does he have the time, though, is the question. 13 minutes remaining. We're going to see 7 laps. 7 more laps of racing here, and that's going to be it. So, hard to say. I guess we'll have to see. Bar 27 holding out that final podium spot. If he can hold on to it, I know he'll be pretty happy about that finish here today as well. So, oh, battle. Here we go. Keytops and Doug Burrow battling for 4th and 5th. Hairraiser now getting into the mix here. Here we go. Oh, holding that line tight. Great job by those two drivers there, man. And they can't be any closer without swapping paint there. So, and I mean, Doug's not letting it go. Oh, getting Key a little. Great job by Key there. Getting it out a little bit wide into the dirt there, but he kept it together. And he's going to back out of that. He's just going to opt to back out there and reset up and battle these guys now. So, maybe not the worst of ideas from Key Tops there. Let's let Hairraiser get into that battle with Doug now, and let's just do the same thing that just happened there. So Key Tops just getting a little bit wide there and dropping the position to Hairraiser. So this battle, I'm sure, is far from over. Hairraiser went for a big run there. Doug knows it. Doug's going to defend. And it was a pretty good defense there by Doug. Of course, lots of respect given by the drivers here, lots of room given by the drivers. But now Keytops on the left side of Hairraiser here. He's going to slot in. A little bit of contact between the 3 drivers here as they're all bottled up in Mercedes Arena here. Ooh, doggy, we got ourselves a battle. Let's get in with Keytops here as he's chasing down Doug. Oh, wrong joystick. And he's got Hairraiser in behind here, so... Oh, Oh, and Doug got a little bit wrong, so did Keytops. That was an opportunity for Keytops to grab 4th place from Doug there, and he was unable to capitalize as he got a little bit sideways out of the corner as well. So really unfortunate there for Keytops. Oh, he had that. That was opportunity missed right there for Keytops, and now he's going to have to set something up or wait for another mistake here by Doug, and that doesn't happen that often. So a very, very rare miscue there by Doug Barrow, and unfortunately for Keytops, making the exact same miscue coming out of the same corner. So really unfortunate there for Keytops, but this guy, he's a racer. He's a racer. He's up to the challenge here. Looks like we got a driver who's got the car in the pit lane here again. So Doug immediately goes defensive here, but I don't know if... Well, I guess we'll see. I mean, the BRZ seems to be keeping up here. But Keytops might just have the edge here this time. And it's going to slot up in front of Doug Barrow there. So Keytops now up into P4. And Hair Razor's right on this battle. So Doug's going to be looking on the inside here. And gets a good run on Key there. But the problem Doug's going to have with Keytops here now is keeping up with that GTR in a straight line. So if Doug needs to be right on the back end of this GTR coming out of these next couple corners, or Keytops may very well be able just to drive away from him here. And you see how quickly that time gap is growing in these straight lines. Like he's gained a second, a tenth and a half. And then under braking, you can see Doug's gaining that back. All that time back almost. And then back under acceleration, you see that GTR gaining it half a tenth, half a tenth, half a tenth. Alright, so we got a little bit of space between these three. Let's go see what else is going on through the field here. We still got Tron Colby and Ibra here battling between the two of themselves as well for 7th and 8th place. Nothing quite happening there yet. Type R's in 9th all on his own. You see Disturbance making a stop. Chip is in pit lane. So Boo Fushidara 11.5 seconds ahead. Pigham's has just not been able to chisel that time gap down. So Pigham's main concern is just to lose bar 27, which it looks like he's done. 12.8 seconds ahead of the 2nd place driver here currently. So it's looking like our feature battle here for the end of the race currently is going to be this battle for 4th place. So 3-way battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th. So let's get with it, shall we, chat? Let's stick with this battle here. Keytops, Doug Barrow, and Hair Razor. And while this battle is going on, let's rip this up real quick. Alright, so our standings, chat. You can see Boo Fushidara in the lead of this championship with 125 points. Doug is right behind with 112. Bar 27 with 105. Hair Razor with 102. Keytops in 5th with 93. Pigham's with 74. Tron with 71. Eber with 68. Monkey, who's not in the race today, with 61. And Type R is rounding out our top 10 in the championship series here this season for these drivers in the GT3 championship. So every point matters here. These guys aren't too far apart from each other as far as this point splits go. Oh, and now we've got to have Disturbance up ahead in that Ford GT race car ahead of these 3 drivers here. So it's going to be interesting. That might draw this battle back and renew it for 4th place here between these 3 drivers, depending on how the drivers all navigate this lap car that they're coming up to here. We're 6 minutes from the end of this race here today, so it's been a good one. There's been some great battling. Here we go, Hair Razor looking. He just took a look. Just playing a little bit of mind games here right now with Doug Barrow a little bit. You know, he's just putting that nose on the inside, seeing if Doug reacts. Okay, tuck back in. So we're definitely seeing Hair Razor starting to push the issue with Doug Barrow in 5th place here. Now, obviously, huge implications in the points for some of these guys trying to catch Doug Barrow sitting 2nd overall in the championship standings. Trone in 7th place here currently as well. He's having a good race here today again. Every week we're just seeing this guy improve, and it's fantastic to watch. Like I said, look out. This is going to be one of the next guys chasing the podiums here real soon. Ibra just behind here, but unfortunately for Ibra, holding a half-second track limit penalty. So he's going to have to deal with that, obviously, and that's going to pull him away from Trone Covey a little bit more. Type R in 9th. He's in no man's land. He's all alone here, and we got disturbance here. So we see Keytops going around right now. And gets around nice and simple, nice and clean. So Keytops fairly in command here in 4th place currently. So back to Bufu Shidara. 10 seconds. So Pigham's shaving a little bit of time here. Bar 27 not able to bite into Pigham's at all. And Keytops is starting to bite into Bar 27 a little bit. But I think Keytops is just out of time as far as catching podium goes. He's going to have to capitalize on a spin if that were to happen up in front of him here. But this battle for 5th to 6th place is definitely not over yet. I think we're going to see Hair Razor start to force the issue here as we progress over the next 1 or 2 laps. We're only going to have about 2 laps remaining after these guys cross here. So, and this will be our penultimate lap here today. Oh, the hair razor getting it just a little bit wrong there. You can see that he just got a little too much of that curb on the hairpin, and it unsettled the car on exit there. When he went to go down and put the power down in that car, it just wasn't ready, and he really got that car sliding sideways, but managed to get it back underneath him there, losing a little bit of time to Doug, but not too much. So it'd be interesting to see if he can reel him back in here. But, I mean, the man everybody is chasing today is Bufu Shidara. From start to finish of this thing, he's been in command. He started on pole. He's been in the lead of the race the whole race, with the exception of course, the rounds of pit stops. Of course, drivers having to sort their positions out through that. But he has been the overall leader of this race all day long. And looking to bring home another win and try to lock down some extra good, valuable point spread on second place driver Doug, who's currently only sitting in 5th place. I think this is Boo's penultimate lap here now. Pigham's is might be Pigham's final lap. It's going to be really close. This will definitely be the final lap for bar 27 as he crosses here. So final lap for bar 27, as well as the rest of the field behind at this point. So Keytops on his final lap here as well in 4th place, with Doug just getting around Disturbance here. And Disturbance is trying not to interfere with Doug there, but that again, that 4GT race car is just so darn fast in a straight line that it's just easily keeping up with Doug right there. So Doug's got some breathing room here from Hair Razor now as these guys are coming around. May not be another battle for that position, but we just never know. We got Ibra starting to close in on Trone here, though, just outside that slipstream. Type R in 9th, Disturbance in 10th. We've seen Chip in 11th there, and he's just waiting for that clock to run out. But we're going to stay on board with Bufu Shidara here as we're getting near the end of this lap here, so... So Type R coming around just up ahead there. He's going to finish in 9th place. So good job to Type R. Great job. Good racing there. And Boo's going to basically get a victory lap here as he comes around the start-finish line. Pagums may get across, though. Oh, and Pagums just gets across as well. So Pagums also on his final lap. So bar 27 now coming around here. Coming around the Coca-Cola curve one final time here today for bar 27. And P3 finish for bar 27, so I'm sure he's quite thrilled about that. He's been looking for a good solid finish here, and he's got one today. Keytop's just behind, finishing in 4th place. Doug not too far behind him, finishing 5th. Hairraiser in 6th, with Disturbance right behind in 10th. We're going to jump on with Ibra here as he comes around. And Tron Kobe on his tail. So Ibra grabbed that position from Tron Kobe. Ibra was in 8th place. So Ibra made the time up and got the job done on Tron. Now, is Tron going to be able to get him at the start-finish line here? Doesn't look that way. 7th place for Ibra. 8th place for Tron Kobe. And those two battling all race long. So good job to those two guys. Great racing from the two of them. Type R coming around here now. Sorry, he didn't finish in 9th last time around. We've seen him go around there. He's going to finish here right now in front of us. So... And Bufu Shadara is actually just ahead of him here, so let's get back up to our race leader as he's coming around here. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Unless something like super dramatic happens here in the next corner, our winner of round 10 for the GTRC GT3 Championship is Boo Fushidara in the Porsche 911 RSR. Congratulations, mate. Great race. See Type R coming in 9th place, just in behind there. And Pigums will be the final driver to cross the finish line here with a P2 finish today. Again, just shy of catching Boo Fushidara, but solid 2nd place finish. Definitely going to help in that climb for the podium in the final standings here. I believe it's only 2 more races to go in the season, so things are heating up for sure in the standings here. So great job to everybody. Shout outs to the other drivers we weren't able to catch go across. Type R in 9th. Chip Reese coming around right now for 11th place finish. And shout out, of course, to Bo94, Big Stick, Happy Pappy, and can't remember the other one for the disconnects. My apologies, guys. Just a little brain fart there. Oh, I don't even get to save the replay because I came in for after the race started. So there we have it, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. My bad. Another cracking race by the GTRC guys. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna flip you over to a Be Right Back screen just for a second. We're going to jump into the chat with the guys. We're going to do some podium interviews for our top 3 drivers, and then we're going to shut this broadcast down, and then we'll be back live in a couple hours for another set of commentary broadcasts. So just bear with. I'm going to flip the screen, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back in about 1 to 1.5 minutes. All right, everybody. So, welcome back. What a great race at the Nurburgring GP. Hey, folks, congratulations to all the drivers. Absolutely stand-up job. Again, we had four drivers today with massive full mechanical failures. Had to put the cars behind the walls, and really unfortunate for them. But doesn't mean that they don't get points. They still get points at the place that the cars were deemed unfit to race any longer. And then we had just battles all over the racetrack, all race long, from right from front to back. So, great job out there, guys. Tough racetrack. It always provides for good racing, but it's fairly difficult to pass around here, surprisingly. Um, yeah, I mean, what did we say? It's a Nurburgring, great chat. So we don't have our second place driver here today. He had to take off. I believe he's competing in another event. So we're just going to reel in a random guest that's left in the driver lobby, and we're going to chat for a minute with them. So what do we see a lot in the race? You know, we've seen some good battling, especially between Key Tops and Doug and Hair Razor. So I think we're gonna jump in with Key, and we're gonna talk with Key, who ended up finishing in fourth place overall. So congratulations on the race. I know obviously it's not the podium finish, probably not exactly what you were looking for, but for being away for a couple of rounds now, coming back in, how did the race feel for you? Oh, well, look at that. All right, well, let's bring that up to Hair Razor then. Let's bring it up to Hair Razor. All right, I mean, you were following that group of cars the whole race long, basically, with the exception of Doug. Of course, Doug having a little bit of an incident while battling Key Tops earlier in the race, and set him back in the pack a little bit, which gave you guys the chance to catch up. And while of course him and Key Tops was battling, that allowed you to just close in naturally because they're slowing each other down a little bit. So, what were you thinking in the last like 20 minutes of that race as you guys were all kind of battling and jockeying for that fourth, fifth, and sixth place positions?
But anyway, it was a good battle, but well done to the guys. Well done to all of them who did really well. It was tough out there.
It was. It's a very tough racetrack. I mean, Nurburgring GP is a very wide racetrack, pretty much on all parts of the circuit. It's easily wide enough to put two cars side by side. But when you add the speed and momentum of a race car into the equation, it's actually quite difficult to pass on Nurburgring GP. And we actually seen some really good outside moves in some of this racetrack. So if you're a driver, you're chasing down another driver, and of course that driver naturally wants to defend the inside line going into a corner, the faster line. How do you approach making that outside pass and getting it to stick?
Yeah, that is another tough one. I think you've just got to try and give it a bit more gas to try and get yourself round, and also without spinning out. But it is tough, but you can do it. But it just takes a little bit of awareness as well of where the other car is.
Absolutely.
But it can be done.
Absolutely, we've seen lots of those styles of moves today. Obviously, when a driver's defending, you have no choice but to either sit in behind that driver or try to make the move on the outside. And we've seen some good battles through some corners that we don't typically see drivers opt to go two by two through in the race here today. But again, just outstanding job by all the drivers here. Great respect, giving each other lots of space, and just great racing. We have what, 2 rounds left here, Razor, in the championship?
I believe we do, yes.
So I mean, we're down to it, ladies and gentlemen. We're down to two more races, and that's it. We crown a champion for the season. So you guys seen the standings near the end part of the race there, and you can see that they're not too far spread out. But with the way this race finished today, they're definitely going to bundle up, especially in the top half of the standings here. So mentality going into the final two races of the season.
Hopefully a little bit stronger than today's race. But yeah, Spa's the next track, and it's a longer track, so yes, I think there'll be some strategies going on there as well. And yes, and a lot of overtaking, hopefully, on that long straight.
Absolutely, great racetrack. That provides for great racing as well. So just a great lineup to finish off the season here as well. So just huge shout out, man. Great congratulations. It was fun watching you guys battle. You guys were the stars of the show near the end of the race. There wasn't a whole lot going on up front. So thank you on behalf of the fans and myself, because it was fun to watch you guys battle there for about the last 20 minutes.
It was indeed. I enjoyed the battling. It was great fun. Thanks to all the drivers as well, because they did a phenomenal job. Even the ones in front, they do a cracking job as well, and the ones behind. Obviously, You know, and they are getting quicker as well, which is getting tougher for us guys as well, which is a good thing.
Absolutely, makes the competition way more fun. That's for sure.
It does.
And shout outs, my man.
Thank everyone and all the fans and yourself as well. Thank you very much indeed.
All
You do
right,
a fantastic job.
awesome. Cheers, here, Razor. We appreciate all your efforts here, brother.
Cheers, mate.
All right, so Bar 27 had to step away as well as he's not feeling that great, so he's opted to step away. He was our third place finisher, so in place of Bar 27, we're actually going to go and talk to Doug. The BRZ. Let's talk about your BRZ, my guy. You seemed like you were doing fairly well at the beginning of the race. You seemed like you were keeping up on pace fairly well with the guys, and then you had that little bit of an incident while battling with Keytops, and I missed the incident, unfortunately. We caught the tail end of it, and you lost a couple positions there. Was that kind of the end of your race there, that spin?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I got very lucky on turn one. There was an incident at turn one, that one, which we tried to avoid, but it happens on a track like this. And I got into second. I was being closed down constantly by the guys behind, caught up with a back marker, and sort of like lost to key. Trying to keep pace because every time we got to the straight, I was getting just gapped. And yeah, it went a bit wider around one of the corners than normal, and just span on the nothing, you know. I don't know what caused it to spin like it did, but it just span. And it 360'd me, put me in the wall, broke everything. So yeah, after that it was a big struggle. I was just hoping from that point on that the one stopper was going to work, and it gave me a couple of positions back, but disappointed in the fact that if it hadn't, I could have been on podium somewhere, you know.
You know, we were kind of curious. It seemed like after the spin, I wasn't sure if it just broke your rhythm or if it was just the fact that the car just has suffered so many changes throughout your championship season that it's just starting to not compete properly anymore. We weren't really sure what was going on there. So, but I mean, when Keytops and Hairraiser started closing in on you, what's going through your mind at that point? You're on a one-stop strategy, obviously, so you're having to do some tire saving and some fuel saving to make that work. And now you've got two drivers bearing down on you. So, what was going through your mind there?
It's over. Is what's going on. I was thinking, right, that's two positions gone. The car has changed a lot over the season. It doesn't handle as well. It's much slower. It doesn't brake as quickly as I've practiced in heavier cars that brake much better than the BRZ, and they're going faster when they come into the corner. It doesn't go as well out of the corner, so it's just like it's try and drive it as best I can. Try and not to lose too many positions. That's the plan. You know what I mean? It's stretch the car out and just hope for the best, because it's not great on fuel either. I tested it, and the Mustang's better on fuel than the BRZ. You know,
So some interesting.
It's a trifecta of rubbish. But I'm going to keep battling on with it, keep persisting, and keep my fingers crossed.
Well, I mean, we got Spa next week. I mean, the BRZ should be, the benefit. It's definitely going to benefit through the middle part of that racetrack with the mid-speed technical sector. It should suit the car fairly well. But overall, how you feeling about the car going to Spa? Because we know you have a couple of really long straight fast runs on that racetrack, and
going up a Rouge into Radion and up that straight, it's like everybody else has got nitrous compared to me going down that straight. So if anyone's near me at that point, I'm losing the position. It's simple as that, no matter what sort of run I get to it. Because it's all slightly uphill as well. So with the nerf of BHP and the no change in weight, it's very difficult up that straight. It just struggles. So I've got one small saving grace in that track, and that's not the sector after that, but the bit after that, before the last straight.
Mm-hmm.
That's where my BRZ is all right, and then you come to the chicane, and then I'm done accelerating out the chicane, done accelerating out of turn one, done up the hill, done up the straight, even slightly better, done again. So it's going to be difficult. Should be interesting, but it's going to be difficult.
Absolutely.
I'll battle for everything I can. The same I always do.
Well, and currently sitting second in the championship standings overall as well. A lot to lose for you with a race car that's just not quite up to par anymore. So, thankfully, the season's only two races left. So, strap in, hang on and do some white knuckle driving, and you should be fine.
I'll give it my best, man. You know me. I'll give it my best.
Absolutely.
I can, and that's all I can do.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, a tough race for you, but still a good strong race for you. P5 finish still gives you good points as going towards your standing total, and the shoutouts.
Thanks to you, firstly. You know, coming here and doing this for us each week, and you know, G45 for sponsoring us. GT45, sorry, for sponsoring us, and you know, all the races, put in a massive job. I mean, Chip. He's left the chat now, but he did a fantastic job. And instead of quitting out, he was having throttle problems. Instead of quitting out, he pulled in the pits, fixed his throttle, and came back out. So you know, fair play to him.
Yeah, he's been working on a brand new set of pedals over the last few days here, so we could totally understand that.
But it was great for him just to pull into the pits and fix it in the pits. That's fantastic. We love it when things like that happen. Congratulations to Bar, to Pig, and to Bo. Begrudgingly, because he's ahead of me, and that's even more points gap. But no, they did a fantastic job. Yeah, no, fair play to him. Did a fantastic job, and yeah, I mean, Bo did a two-stopper, and it worked for him. I think it was anyway, because last week he tried a one-stopper and it went horribly wrong. Yep. So this week he was on pace. He was flying. He was flying. Always. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people say it's the car, but you've got to be able to drive it. I know the car is really quick now, but I can't drive it like he drives it. It's a fantastic job by him, fantastic job by Pig, and fantastic job by Bar.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations. We'll see you next week in MX5, and we'll see you for round.
Do better there.
We see you for round 11 at Spa for GT3 the following weekend. So, sit back, reflect, and
thanks to you again, man.
Don't forget to strap the nitrous bottle into the car before next race.
I need more than that, mate. I need more than that.
All right, cheers, mate. All right, so
cheers, mate. Our
only podium finisher here, ladies and gentlemen, that's left in the chat is Boo Fushidara. We love talking to Boo Fushidara. He's always got such great things to say. There's not much to say for you today, mate, but very well done race. Congratulations. I mean, you clearly had a strategy in mind. Stuck to it, and he just commanded this race from start to finish. There wasn't really, minus the first lap. Obviously, we missed the first lap because of trying to reset some glitching issues we were having on the spectator side of things, so we did miss the first lap of the race. But from what we could tell from that final chicane on the end of the first lap through the race, you couldn't be touched. You were the fastest guy on the racetrack by a mile. You were the only driver in the 155s throughout the race. I mean, what do we say? But well done, sir. What was going through your mind today?
Thank you very much. I'll be honest, the first lap, the race was, the gap at the end was flattering. There was a bit of an incident on the first lap, the first corner. Pigs went backwards, a few of the guys went backwards, and a few others capitalised, so it's not a fair reflection. After that, I saw Doug behind me, and I know he's got issues with the BRZ, so I was actually in fuel mix too for most of the first stint, just maintaining the gap. I saw Doug there, I thought, okay, I can keep 5 seconds, I'll keep it at that, just build it steadily. Start seeing Pig catch up and close the gap. I saw him do a fastest lap, and I thought, you know what, we'll try and take that off him, because you just never know what happens at the end of the season. So I thought I've got a great chance of getting fastest lap. So I've pumped in a couple of fast ones, which extended my gap again up to about, I think, 8 or 9 seconds, and then just went back to fuel mix 2 for the remainder of the first stint. So everybody started pitting, and Doug said I went for a 2-stop. I was thinking about a 1-stop after Suzuka a couple of weeks ago. I thought I wasn't going to risk it. I thought I'd play it safe and sorry, and just sort of cruised, really. I wasn't really chasing anything, just kept focus, which is exactly what I didn't have in the previous round. I wasn't in the right, headspace. Not that there was anything wrong with me, I just wasn't concentrating, but corrected it for this weekend.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, like I said, we did miss the first lap, unfortunately, but from about the last third of that lap on, it just seemed like you just had it under control, and we even speculated during the race that that's exactly what you're doing. You weren't really pushing, you were just maintaining the gap. There was no need to make it any bigger, And by the end of the race, I mean, top dog. You got that victory lap there with Piggums a little bit down the road chasing you, but I guess the best case scenario for Piggums there would have been you didn't calculate your fuel properly and you ran out of fuel and he got around you, right? But just a great race by you today. And I mean, moving forward to the final 2 rounds, you're in the lead of the championship standings. You've had to come from behind throughout the season to get into that position. You've got a little bit of a cushion now with a couple of the drivers finishing a little bit further down the grid today. What's your thought process going into the final 2 weeks?
Same as always, really. At the start, so you're right. At the start of the season, the way the cars were, especially the mid-engine cars, being tricky at low speeds. The Porsche hasn't really changed, apart from the low speed stuff. It hasn't really changed in terms of characteristics or power. It's been consistent. Maybe it's lost a couple of horses, but nothing major. But I'm just doing exactly what I did at the start of the season, which is practice, focus on myself, try and get to that top end of the grid if I can, and see how the race pans out. It's there's nothing else really that I won't change anything. I'll race everybody as I've always raced them. I'll just keep doing what I'm doing, and hopefully that sees me on through to the end of the season. But yeah, I mean, it's nice to have the gap, don't get me wrong. That's what everybody wants. If we can wrap it up next round with a race to spare, that'd be great. But equally, it'd be quite exciting to go into Daytona with anybody still able to clinch it.
Absolutely, absolutely. But I mean, there's still lots of battles in those standings going on, not just for obviously top spot, but all the podium positions and even right through the middle part of the standings. You know, it's just a few points sparing between each driver there near the middle part. So lots can change here yet over a couple more races. So one bad race by any driver can completely change the complexion of a championship run. And I mean, you never know. Bufu Shidara has been on the end of some bad luck this season. He had a disconnect in one race. You know, and like he said like he just said, the car was a lot more difficult to drive at lower speeds than it is now. So you know, some things have changed. The game, obviously, like I said throughout the broadcast, the game is working on changing these things to make the game fluent and better. But just a solid drive. And I know we're not going to see you next week from MX5. You're not entered into the MX5 series. Are we going to see you as a guest in comms next weekend?
Maybe. We'll see. The weekends off that I have, if you want to call it that, I end up seeing family. But if I'm around,
Right.
definitely have the space, and I'm wanted in the co-coms, then absolutely.
But you're always
It's always good to see the guys. It's entertaining. It's nice to have a partner in crime to watch over people and discuss them, because it's whilst I race these guys most days, it's nice being able to talk to them and give something back to the viewers, and just sort of talk about people's characters and even the attitude of the car, because you can definitely see it when you're on track. Even if they're all identical cars, the way the car behaves and the way it looks on track, you can see who's a bit more aggressive, who's a bit more laid back. It's interesting to see.
absolutely, and I mean that's another thing too. Of course, as one of the organizers here at the GTRC and one of the brains behind the scenes. It's probably nice to sit back and look at the progress of your friends and your mates and your community that you've been building over the years, and just sit back and take a look at the progression as well, right?
100%. It's the wins are great from a personal point of view, but what I actually enjoy seeing more is people catching up. Like, you see people that are joining the league, or have joined the league a little while ago, and just their pace, just seeing them get faster, be more comfortable on track on their own, and also battling with people. That's what really puts a smile on our face, and not just me. It's everybody else in the admin team. That's what we really like seeing. We want to see people to be competitive. We want them to catch up and even surpass us.
Absolutely.
Which might sound a bit weird, but we definitely want people to be coming in, getting faster, and winning races in their own right.
Absolutely, and it's going to happen. I mean, we see it week in and week out. Certain drivers, they just, you know, seems like they step up a level in that particular week, and then they build that confidence off of that, and all of a sudden they're in the conversation all of a sudden. So
Yeah.
it's happening. It's definitely happening,
Yeah.
and I can't wait to see what, you know, the next championships are going to bring out too as well. Just more competition, hopefully, and and hopefully some of these drivers that have ran two very tough championship series here recently are ready to give it everything and go for that podium too. I get that feeling around the drivers lounge, the drivers room, and there's definitely some competition. There's some good, heartwarming, friendly competition here at the GTRC, and I love to see it. Absolutely love to see it.
Absolutely. I mean, a good case in point is Ibra. So I know he's in the BRZ as well, and he struggles with it, but he jumped into the Porsche, and he wasn't far off my best lap time. So I think he was like half a second off. So he's definitely improved, and he's one that we keep talking about. But just as we were talking about that, it came to mind. So yeah, definitely, it's good to see the progress, and hopefully people stick with it. I know it can be disheartening to begin with, but stick at it. You'll soon reach the guys in front.
Yeah, and another notable mention too right now in that conversation also is Tron Colby, without a question of a doubt.
Oh yeah.
The progression just this season alone, from start of the season to now, has just been incredible to watch. And next season, he's a name to be looking out for, without a question of a doubt.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, cheers. I always love talking to you. You're so well spoken, and it's nice to have the officials and the staff of the leagues coming in and talking to, and going above and beyond what just happened with the race, but talk a little bit about what there's going on in there, and talking about their communities, and that's what we love here. So appreciate the kind words, and shout outs, of course, my guy.
So one big shout out is to Brian, or Lone Ghost. I asked him to do a special livery for me, so I'm running that this season, so this win definitely goes to him. Shout out to White Cloud Coffee for supporting me with coffee, funnily enough. Big shout out to all the drivers. If they weren't here, well, this just wouldn't be happening. So massive shout out to them. Thank you much for supporting the community. They are the communities, and I hope they enjoy it and they get as much out of it as we do. And of course yourself, because you're no longer just a commentator. You're very much part of the community as well. So
happy to be a part of it.
Thank you and everybody watching.
Absolutely great community you guys got here. So. But yeah, I mean, great words spoken by everybody today, Chad. I mean, we had a couple of non-podium finishers, which we always do if they had to jump out for any reason or were unable to make a podium interview. We like to talk to some of the different drivers. The BRZ was a big question mark, obviously, for us today. We knew that it got nerfed a little bit in the last update, so we were definitely curious to talk to Doug about that, as we know Doug's the most vocal about the BRZ when it comes to that car. It's been very frustrating for him this season, and rightfully so. It's a car he chose at the beginning of the championship, and every other week it seems to change. So you have to relearn how to drive the cars in that situation. So it's very frustrating for the two drivers between Doug and Ibra right now with the BRZs. But they show up week in and week out. They put their time in. They give it everything they've got on that track, and they're still putting those cars up in the top half of the field. So kudos to them. We've seen a couple of Ford GT race cars out on the track. Definitely not easy cars to race around with tire wear, fuel consumption on medium tires. So kudos to the two guys going out there bold with those Ford GT race cars. We don't see them often, so we love to see the different cars. We got the Type R with the Type FT1. Again, just not a car you see on track very often in these championships. So huge shout out to these guys thinking outside the box and bringing in some of these other cars. And of course, we really thoroughly enjoyed the old school Toyota Super Battle and the new school Toyota Super Battle between Piggums and Bar 27 in the race as well. And unfortunately for that poor 97 Supra, that 2018 just had a little more gusto in the straight line and managed to win out on the old Supra there. But it was a good overall, really good fun race, chat, and it just great community, great people on track and off the track to make it happen. So thanks to you guys, and feel free to continue doing what you do, man. Thanks for your time. Thank you for the race.
Thank you very much. See you next time around.
Thank you, Ghost.
Nah, you're good.
Thank you very much.
All right, chat. So
guys, I think you're free to talk now.
What do we say? Just a great race. We did the race recap with them in the with them in the still there. I'm really proud to be able to have the opportunity to sponsor something like this. I mean, I'm just a human being, I'm just an average human being like you guys out there watching. I go to work every day, I have a job, I have bills, we have families. this is something I look forward to, you know, and I've met so many great people over the last year through the content, through these racing leagues, through the broadcasting, and the GTRC community really is a great community. So if you're really looking for that family vibe, that you know, somebody's going to take you in under your wing and take the time to give you all that knowledge, the GTRC is really a community you want to be a part of, ladies and gentlemen. So, you know, huge shout out to the GTRC. It's going to be a beautiful partnership between myself and these guys and the community and the league, and I look forward to continuing our forward progress as a group, as a family, as two communities coming together as one. So we really appreciate all your support. To all our viewers that came out today, thank you so much for the reactions, the likes, the shares, the comments. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for cheering on your favorite drivers. You know, these races don't happen without you guys and gals. You know, your boys and your girls, the kids coming in, hanging out, watching these races. We super appreciate it. They try to make it as fun and action-packed as they can for you. I try to do my absolute best to make it exciting on a broadcasting standpoint, and of course to keep it 100% rated PG, so we can make this a family event. So appreciate the support. If you're tuning in on the YouTube over on GTRC and you're not a subscriber, if you wouldn't mind just throwing a subscribe button there, turning on those live notifications, you'll never miss another race again that's put on by the GTRC here, this live broadcast. So, with that being said, thank you so much, because the league doesn't grow without the drivers, and the drivers don't want to race without the viewers. So, you know, it's a combined effort here. Go Team Sim Racing, and I can't wait to bring MX5s to you guys next week. I mean, the MX5 series has been smashing series. It's been absolutely just a bang up series. It's been so fun to watch. It's been fun to commentate. These cars are so fun. So we're gonna go there next week, round 4 at Red Bull Ring. That's gonna be a fun race. That is gonna be a fun race next weekend. So that's what's in store for the GTRC moving into next weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Again, 2 weeks left of this GT3 championship. So by the end of this month, we're gonna be crowning our champion here at the GTRC. And then these guys will just have some fun races in between, and then we're going to have some brand new championships coming to you guys, sponsored by GT45 Gaming. These will be officially prized events. There will be rewards for our drivers, and a whole new look for the GTRC broadcast moving forward into the future. So we love you guys so much. Thank you for being here. Your support is warming to each and every one of our hearts. And the GTRC is just can't thank everybody enough for the continued growth that you continue to provide them, just by helping them with the likes and the shares and subscribing and all that fun stuff that we do here as creators. So much love, everybody. I'm going to be back in a couple hours. We got more broadcasts for you yet today. We have got some amazing racing coming to you guys in a couple hours here on the page. So, you know, go hang out with the fam, go run out, do your grocery shop, and make sure to be back to catch those next 2 races we're broadcasting, folks, because this is a new one. So new league we're broadcasting for, and it's going to be an absolutely amazing time. But, you know, thank you everybody for coming in. I am your host for the evening, GT45 Gaming, RR Goes 45 on the PlayStation, and Tim Gray in real life. I do appreciate everybody's patronage all the time, no matter how long or how short it may be. Just being here makes everything worthwhile. So thank you all so much for the support. Stay winning. Most important thing is always stay winning. Keep a positive attitude. Always move forward, because life is going to go on, whether we're ready for it to or not. So stay winning is a positive vibe. Stay winning means just keep moving forward, because it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. So when I say stay winning, I'm telling you guys just to keep it locked in, man, and just keep full sending that thing around life, because life really isn't that bad. It's how we make it, and when we're surrounded by great people like racing communities and viewers like you guys that support the page, life is pretty darn good. So much love, peace and respect, and we'll be back next week for Mazda, me MX5s.